On April 20th, 1997, Bell's Amusement Park was filled with excitement. But as the day came to a close, a tragedy unfolded that would forever change the lives of all those involved. A young boy, determined to conquer his fear of roller coasters, climbed aboard. But little did he know, his fate was already sealed. Join us as we look closely at the tragic accident that killed one teenager and injured many others. Let's go back in time. It's April 20th, 1997, and the Bell's Amusement Park, located in Tulsa, is bustling with excitement as visitors flock to enjoy the 25-cent rides and festivities of the season opening promotion. Despite the park having been opened a week earlier, the promotion was extended due to bad weather, making this the perfect weekend for thrill seekers to come out and play. The 20th of April was a day of fun and excitement at the Bell's Amusement Park. But for one family, it was a day that would change their lives forever. As the sun began to set and the day's excitement drew to a close, a brave 14-year-old boy stepped up to the line for the WildCat roller coaster. Despite his fear of the ride, he was determined to conquer it. He climbed aboard and secured himself in the front seat, ready for the thrill of a lifetime. Patrick was the type of kid who wanted to overcome all his fears. Just a week before his tragic accident, he mustered up the courage to conquer his fear of roller coasters. He rode the WildCat before and really enjoyed it. And he was ready for more the next time he would visit Bell's Amusement Park. But little did he know, his fate was already sealed. April 20th, 1997 was the day he finally got to ride the WildCat again. But while riding around 6 p.m., as the WildCat reached the top of its highest incline, it suddenly stopped. The safety mechanism that should have prevented the ride from rolling backward failed. The coaster car began its descent in reverse, crashing into another ride car. Eyewitnesses say that the young boy in the front car was thrown from the coaster, hitting his head on one of the metal bars before falling below the tracks. Tragically, he died at the scene from blunt head trauma. That young boy was Patrick Couric. His proud mother, Jane Couric, shared, "Patrick told me earlier he finally rode the WildCat coaster, and it was scary, but he was ready to ride it again." But in a twist of fate, Jane couldn't shake the thought that she should have warned him against it. With a quiver in her voice, she tearfully said, "I keep thinking about that conversation. I just wish I could have known better and stopped him." The accident was a brutal one, leaving 6 others injured, including 2 14-year-old boys, Ryan Denton and Deontay Parker. They were rushed to the hospital with serious injuries both internal and external. But thankfully, the other 4 passengers in the back car only sustained scrapes and bruises. Johnny Fajan and his 2 daughters aged 12 and 9, along with a 3-year-old friend, were treated and released from the hospital a while later. It's heart-wrenching to think about the fear and uncertainty that would have taken over during the moments of the accident. Johnny Fajan and his family were holding on to their dear life while on the ride at the amusement park. Fajan recalls the moment. "I locked eyes with the kids in the front car. It was a heart-stopping moment. We were all helpless. All we could do was hold on tight." His daughter Carista was thrown from the car and landed on the floor. She suffered a head injury, but Johnny and the other 2 girls miraculously remained in the car despite the impact. Fajan, still shaken by the experience, said, "The force of the impact was so strong it shook me to my core, but I knew God was watching over us." But unfortunately, this wasn't the first tragedy that happened. The park has a rich history of accidents dating back to 1948. But what caused the accident that took the life of an innocent 14-year-old boy? It was actually the incompetence and laziness of the regulators. Just 2 weeks prior, the WildCat roller coaster had undergone an inspection and received the green light from the Oklahoma Department of Labor. However, a preliminary investigation revealed that a broken mechanism was to blame for sending the front car plummeting down the incline. According to the incident report, it all started with a snap or crack sound, and before anyone could even react, the car came tumbling down. The initial examination revealed that a piece of the anti-rollback device broke, causing the car to travel backwards down the rail after the car disengaged from the chain that pulled it up the incline. It was a moment that sent shivers down the spines of those who witnessed it. Despite the tragedy, the park remained open until its usual closing time, but employees were trying to get visitors out early. As one of the employees said, "There were simply too many people here and we didn't want to cause a panic. We handled the situation as calmly as possible." The WildCat roller coaster was a true thrill seeker's delight, but it was also the source of many heart-stopping moments at Bell's Amusement Park. In 1978, 2 visitors were injured when one of the ride's cars collided with other parked cars. Marta Sanzalone broke her wrist, and James D. Barnes' knee was fractured in the accident. Unfortunately, this wasn't the first time the WildCat caused injury, with at least 4 people getting hurt since 1976. One person even got $28,000 in a lawsuit. But the WildCat wasn't the only ride at Bell's that brought danger and excitement. In 1976, a young Bell's employee lost his life on the Skyride, which was like a ski lift. James Bennett was trying to cross the Expo Square while hanging from an empty car when he fell. 4 years later, a 9-year-old boy's leg was broken on the Super Roundup, a spinning ride that left him with a wedged leg outside the ride's car. And in 1991, the mini roller coaster at Tulsa State Fair saw 36-year-old Jesse K. Swindle getting injured when the ride jumped off its tracks. Despite all these incidents, the WildCat was moved to another park and operated for another year before it was taken down permanently. It's safe to say that Bell's Amusement Park was a place of excitement and danger. It's been 26 years since the tragedy struck at Bell's Amusement Park, but it feels like only yesterday for many people. The Keurig family has learned to cope with their loss over the years. Instead of focusing on the tragedy, they chose to remember the positive memories of Patrick and the joy he brought into their lives. They think of the way he always had a smile on his face and a joke to tell. Even though Patrick is no longer with them, they're proud of his accomplishments. Jane Keurig says, "Patrick's love of life is a lesson to us all." The Keurig's resilience and determination to keep Patrick's spirit alive serve as an inspiration to everyone who knew him. They have transformed their tragedy into a message of hope and perseverance, reminding us all to cherish life and find joy in the midst of adversity. If this roller coaster was still operational, would you board it? Did you like this video? Let us know in the comment section below. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel to get updates on new roller coaster tragedies. That's it for now, and we'll see you in the next one.